templates index. Okay, so I guess what we want is a search bar, and I always forget. Let me see if I can remind myself fast. Okay, how to keep Bulma happy? You know, it's like this monster. Div class is equal to control. I think is what I need to do to keep it fully happy. And then I have to have an input field, you know, that's the bar, right? So an input of class is equal to input. The type is going to be text, okay? And um, the V model, because I have to associate with a variable, is going to be query. Okay, this is your search query, right? So this sets up simply a place where you can write. Okay, so to do it well, I would need to look at Bulma documentation in order to be able to put the search button directly here. Okay, but let me not be lazy and say button. Actually, let me do it a bit better. I don't want to have any button. I want that when you type a string, every time you type a character, you take the string you have so far and use that as query. What about that? Is that what you would like to do? No, so that you know, as you type, it can show you dynamically the search results. It's like many websites do this, right? Like Bitbucket, when you look for a repo, you can just type the name of the repo and then it searches dynamically. You didn't need to press on a search button. So let's try to do that. And in that case, maybe I can use the change event again. I would have, you know, you can look at various events for input fields, and you can find the documentation, and I don't remember them all by heart. But well, I guess I could try to search them, but in the Mozilla Developer Network, MDN, input field events, maybe I can find them. Input form element, HTML, I mean, there is a change event that they seem to recommend. I don't know. I think change will be fine. Okay. And we call this search simply. Okay. So this establishes this. Now in the JS, so I need to declare query, which is gonna be empty. No. Tell me if I make mistakes that you can obviously see. So there is query and search, and there is a search that is app search. Okay, now I need to do the search method. App search is equal to a function that takes nothing and what does it do? It sends a query to the server, right? And so it does something like this: axios.post, no, .get, why, which one? Axios.get of, yes, I forgot something I knew, of, wake up, oof, okay, search URL, okay, I want this to be called search URL, my callback URL. I will write it for you. I will do the whole thing actually super fast, I guess. So this is called search URL, okay? Params is equal to this stupid thing because no, what is it? So here I have to say params and then I say the params, right? Q, the query is gonna be the query. I think this is the right syntax, okay? And then I do a then, but I don't do the then now. Okay. In fact, maybe it's even more elegant if I write it here. So this is what I will do later. But let me not write it. Let me go to the controller. Now write the controller portion. Okay, here. Action search. Okay, so this I want to be search, and this I want to be search URL. So action search, action.uses, and I don't say what it uses. Okay, and what do I want to do? So I want to mock it, right? Because here you actually have to do the search. And so I will fake it in an incredible way. I say import UUID. Why? You will see. And so, import random, because def search. Okay, and I want to do these results. I want to fake it, right? So results is equal to a list that contains, well, let me extract the query parameter. Q is equal to request params get Q. So this is a query string, right? And the results are going to be Q plus a colon, for example, plus uuid.uuid, I don't know, 0 I wanted, I guess, but it doesn't give me. UUID 1, okay, fine. So this is just for to have a random string, okay? For I don't care in range of random randint. You know, I want between 2 and 6 results, so I don't get bored. Okay, so this just fakes, but it puts as a first element to the query string, so that I will see that the code actually works, and then it will put some random sequence of characters. Return dictionary of results is equal to results. So that's all I need. Now I can go back to my JavaScript, and so here I have a function result, okay, and what? And so here I need results, which is a list of nothing for the moment. And then I want to say app.view.results is equal to result data.results. Ole. Yes. Ta-ta-da. Maybe it will even work. And so here in the template now, below this div of class control, you know, I may want to add this, what is it, block always to give a little bit of space. And so I will say div v4 is equal to r in results. Okay. So this will create a div, and I will put the result here. Very bare bones, and it might even work. So let's give it a spin. So if not else, we learn how to debug, okay? I don't promise it works. Yes, and I wanted to do another thing. And here I have to show my ignorance. So I wanted to actually do all these only if my query string was above a certain length. How do you get the length of a string in JavaScript? I forgot. Is this the string dot length? Well, okay. So if you one quick way to check if you forget is the following. Okay, so this was the lecture I was about to develop. But if I go here, I can type in the JavaScript console, unless somebody of you is kind enough to tell me, okay? But if I say that s is equal to hello, okay, what is s length? is 5. Okay, so that's how I get the length of a string. It makes sense. I never trust that JavaScript makes sense. If q.length, if the length is greater than 1, I do this. If it's too short, I don't want to do anything, okay? So, else, so if it's shorter, then I say app vo results is equal to the empty array, so that I only search if you tell me 2 or more letters. Now, let's see whether this actually works. So I called these, how did I call these? Search bar. So it will probably be horrible, okay? Okay, search bar. Ah, I see a search bar. The power of computer science. And so, because I always freak out, you know, I look at the console, I see no errors. I look at the network, we will see what we will see. And so I want to write fish, and I see that it doesn't work. How do you debug these if it doesn't work? Well, you look at the console and you see that there is an error. Reference server queue is not defined. So always look at the console first. Error in von handler. Reference server queue is not defined. What does that mean? Let me debug it for you a moment. We are so close, you know. So, oh, here, queue. This queue is not defined. And this is because it's not queue. Is app.vo.query, right? That's the variable. And also here, I made the same mistake, app.vo.query. Okay, so maybe this way it will work. So let me retry. So I reload this page. Let's keep an eye on the console. I type fish, and again, it doesn't work. Why? Uncaught error in promise. So this time is the server that made a mistake, and you can see it also for the network tab that you get a 500. It is actually super useful as a debugging exercise. And so I go to the server and look at the error. Can only concatenate a string, not UUID to string. Oh, yes. And this is because the super boring thing that this UUID function that I used, even though it generates a string, it says that it's simply bytes. You know, don't ask why. It's one of these idiocies that are around. Encode or decode. I'm afraid it's decode. So this is bytes, and I have to decode them according to UTF-8 in order to get a string. I believe. Let me give it a try. Can somebody tell me? So how would you try this out? Well, I would use IPython and give it a try. I can. Let's see if it's installed IPython. Okay, so string import UUID. S is equal to UUID dot UUID of UUID1. What's the type of S? Oh, it's a UUID. What's can I call string? Ah, yes, that's the way to do it. Good that I tried. So I need to call string of this object because otherwise it's something that is not a string. There are some things that are, you know, not knowable, like why these developers decided that a function to generate a random string doesn't return a string is one of the mysteries of life, but, you know, we shall not inquire. So, so now if I type a fish here, again, nothing works. Okay, this is getting depressing. No, it works, actually, yes, I got fish. So I write fish and chips. It's only that I'm listening to the wrong event because I have to remove the focus for this to work. So so it's not the change event that I have to listen to. It's a key down or key up event that I have to listen to. And so let me just do that and fix it, because now we are 1 millimeter from it getting it to work. So input field key down or up, I never know, key down event, HTML, whatever. And I get HTML on key down event attribute, events examples, key down event, keyboard, key down and key up. Let's see, it's maybe called a key down. I don't know. Let's give it a try. Perhaps it's just faster. Does anybody know? Hey, you can do the search as well and help me. Key down. So if I reload, and I write fish and chips. Well, MIS. Wait a moment. Yes. I think it's because I have to listen to the key app event. So now we go into a crazy loop in which we have to figure out essentially which event is the right one. Because the problem is that due to the synchronization between Vue.js and the event, I may be receiving the event that the key is down slightly before the Vue variable is updated. And so that may be determining that funny behavior. Let me try now with the key app event, fish and chips. Haha, now it works. Now it works. Okay, good. This actually worked. So I can give you the code.